This podcast is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania, which is currently offering customers a door and window super deal. You can now save $500 on every window and $1,000 on every door from May 1st through May 31st. Super indeed. Visit renewalbyandersen.com to learn more about this deal before it ends. A whistleblower has come out and questioned the use of an EPA plane following the Norfolk Southern train derailment. In Pittsburgh, the city controller is looking into payments made to a former city employee. This dashboard tracks ticks and Lyme disease. Lastly, there's a new Rutters coming to town. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in PA. The Federal Environmental Protection Agency has a plane, the Aspect plane, that's loaded with advanced sensors which can gather and provide crucial data regarding chemicals released into the air following a chemical disaster, reports the Associated Press. And while the EPA touts how this plane is ready to go within an hour of such a disaster, a whistleblower told the Associated Press that the Aspect plane didn't fly over the Norfolk Southern train derailment at the Ohio-Pennsylvania border last year until a day later. In fact, Robert Crotill, who wrote the software for and who helps interpret the data gathered by the plane, claimed that even when the plane did fly over the site of the derailment, the data it took was incomplete. Not only did this fail to help officials realize how they didn't need to blow up 5 tank cars and burn the chemicals inside as a response to the disaster, but, according to Crotill, they even asked to draft plans for the flight and backdate them to look better for public record. Crotill's team actually labeled the mission as inconclusive, only for managers to change it to declare the vent and burn successful, since the plane allegedly found so few chemicals. Said he, quote, "We had no confidence in the data. We could not trust it." Mario Eshkar began work as a city employee in Pittsburgh in 2022 before eventually leaving to take up a job as a contractor, reports the Tribune Review. Yet the city has paid Eshkar a total of $18,460 to his PayPal account, Princess Jafar, ever since this past August, and billed those payments to city credit cards. This has prompted City Controller Rachel Heisler to look into these payments as possible violations of the state ethics law and, more broadly, the rules surrounding the use of city credit cards. See, the State Ethics Act forbids municipal employees from working as contractors for their former public employers for at least a year. Depending on whether the timing of these payments are, that's where the violations come in. Heisler didn't explicitly accuse Eshkar of any wrongdoing, though, and it's still not clear what role he played, if any, in the payments he received beyond being the recipient. The state health department has launched a new dashboard that tracks where ticks are prevalent, states CBS local Pittsburgh. It also tracks tick-borne diseases, like Lyme disease. This is all so people across Pennsylvania can take the proper precautions against ticks while enjoying the outdoors during the summer months. Such precautions include using insect repellent and doing body checks when you come back inside. A quote-unquote massive Rutters is coming to your county, writes PennLive. This 13,500 square foot prototype near Milton will have 12 auto-fueling positions, 5 commercial fueling lanes, a food menu, a beer cave, wine and spiked slushy sales, and video game terminals. It'll also be open 24 hours. The company didn't give too many concrete details apart from that, but did say this Rutters will have a brand new look. It's expected to open later this year. That wraps up today's episode. For even more news, drop by PennLive.com. And please remember to rate this podcast and to leave it an honest review, too. Thanks ahead of time, and of course, thanks for listening. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and I'll be back again tomorrow for more Today in PA. This podcast is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania, which is currently offering customers a door and window super deal. You can now save $500 on every window and $1,000 on every door from May 1st through May 31st. Super indeed. Visit renewalbyandersen.com to learn more about this deal before it ends.